Making POV videos with AI is way harder than it first seems. And I know that because I almost burned through all my credits just trying to get one decent result. But after a lot of trial and error, I found 3 simple tricks that finally allowed me to create high-quality POV videos in just a few clicks. So today, I'll show you all 3 and explain exactly how they work. Plus, I'm going to reveal all the mistakes I made along the way so you don't make them and ruin your results. Now, we're going to make all the image and video generations inside Higgsfield. So if you want to follow along but don't have an account yet, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can sign up. Alright, so let's start with a simple POV generation and then move on to more advanced ones. But for this, we need to know all 3 tricks that take any generation from looking like a cheap video game, HUD, to looking like what a real person would actually see. And the first one actually starts in the starting frame of the video. So once you're inside Higgsfield, let's go to the image generation section and hit create image. I'm going to select GPT image 2 as our model because it's one of the best when it comes to prompt adherence and detail. And here's the prompt I'll be using. And if you want this prompt and every other one from this video, I dropped them all into a free doc, so you don't have to type any of it out. You can find the link in the description down below. Now, the most important parts of this whole prompt are the words where we say this is a first-person point of view. And then there's the last sentence where we mention that you can see a small part of the arm at the edge of the frame. And this is the first and most important trick of all because it makes way more sense to the video generator when we actually have a POV where you can see a hand. However, you need to pay attention here because the way you place the hand actually matters. The mistake I made when I was trying to get a decent result was showing the hand as a static, resting hand in the starting frame, and that turned into a really weird result in the video. So what you want to do is make the hand already mid-stride or mid-swing. Now let's go to the video section. Inside the video section, on the left, I'll select Cdance 2 as our video model because that's the best one overall. Then on upload media, I'll drop in the starting frame I made earlier. Once that's done, I'll set the duration to 15 seconds, the resolution to 1080p, and the aspect ratio to 16:9. Now for the next part, we're going to use 2 more small tricks to get a high quality result. So let me paste in the prompt and then explain what these are and how you need to place them. The first one is in the second sentence where we say point of view style video, and that's what makes sure the AI generator understands what we're trying to do. This one's really important because if you don't mention it, sometimes the AI looks at the starting frame, sees that it starts like one of those POV videos, but then tries to pull the camera out of it, and you end up with a result that just doesn't look good. So once you place that simple sentence inside your prompt, we move on to the next one, which is simply describing the POV gestures, like we do here, with the arms pumping back and forth in a steady opposite rhythm to each stride, and the forearms swinging into and out of the bottom of the frame. Again, this anchors the AI generator into the POV style of the video. So now let's go ahead and generate and see what we've got. One of the most important parts here is that it kept the POV style from start to finish, and when he's running, you can even see his hands swinging, which is exactly what we asked for. But then he took it to the next level because when he jumps off the cliff, he puts his hands out in front just like you actually would before hitting the water. So from a POV standpoint, it did an awesome job, but besides that, it also nailed the cinematic look. And I really like how smooth and realistic the transition is right before the jump and going into the water. And that was all thanks to the 3 simple tricks I've shown you. However, there are still some small mistakes that can completely ruin the video, whether you use these tricks or not. So let's go ahead and show you exactly what these are and how to avoid them. For this, I'll create a new POV video. And like you've seen already, we need to make the starting frame first. So going back into the image generation section, I'll use this prompt. And after setting everything up the same way, this is what we get. Again, it applied the POV style to it, with the hand in the frame placed the right way, which is exactly what we learned with the first trick. So let's save it and then head over to the video section. And before I actually paste in the prompt, I'll upload the starting frame we made previously. I'll set the duration to 15 seconds, the resolution to 1080p, and the aspect ratio to 16:9. And now let me paste in this prompt. And here's what we get.
Seeing this view? Yeah. Still can't believe we're here.
As you can see, everything looks good until the actual POV style starts to break. This is a mistake I made so many times before, and it took me a while to realize what was causing it. But once I found out, it was actually so obvious. So if we go back to the prompt, you can see there's no place where we specify what camera movement it needs to use, and this is a critical mistake. So that's why every video prompt should explicitly call out the handheld bob, sway, or drift. In this case, I'll spell out exactly that I want a slow handheld drift and sway in the framing. Now let's generate it one more time and take a look at the result.
You seeing this view? Yeah. Still can't believe we're here.
And it's finally fixed, and we don't get that weird close zoom into the earth anymore. One thing I want to point out is that it didn't start from the frame I wanted, but because it looks so good, I'll actually keep it like that. Now, besides the POV style, I really like how it managed to get all the physics right, like the gravity. And I also get those radio voices when they talk, which makes it feel extremely real. So if you make sure the camera movement is specified, you shouldn't have any problems with the POV style. However, it can still come out looking extremely weird if you do this one thing when creating the starting frame. And it's a bit weird to explain, so let me actually show you in practice how it looks. For this, I'm going to create another POV style video. So I go to the image section inside Higgsfield, make sure GPT image 2 is selected, and use this prompt to create the starting frame. One really important thing here is the last sentence, where I say, one hand in a kimono sleeve, visible at the bottom edge of the frame, caught mid-swing as if mid-stride, with the other arm out of frame. And when I press generate, it creates this image for us. But one big mistake I made when trying to generate the video for this came from a small, at first innocent, detail inside the prompt. Instead of keeping just one arm in the frame, I thought it would look more realistic to add two of them. And when I generated the video, this is what I got. As you can see, it looks extremely weird and stiff, and my character looks more like a walking zombie than a normal person. And that's because I had both hands in the starting frame, which turned out to be a huge mistake. So you want to avoid that and make sure to only add one single arm, and the AI will understand when to add the second one on its own. So now let's take the correct starting frame and get it into the video section, where I'll drop it into upload media. I set the settings the same as before, and for the video prompt, I make sure to follow the other two tricks I showed you. First, mentioning that it's a point of view style video, and then describing the body movement, like I do here, where the view walks down the street with a handheld bob and sway and both arms swinging. Now let's generate and take a look at the result. I like how it shows off the outfit, kind of like you'd do in a vlogging style. But what's way better than the previous generation is that we don't get that weird zombie movement anymore, and the camera stays in the POV style from start to finish. So with one arm instead of two, the whole walk finally holds together. And now that we've got this working, let's take it one more step. To finish this video, I'm gonna use something most people still don't know about. So back in the video section, on upload media, you can actually use a video as a reference, not just an image. And this changes everything about how you build a longer POV sequence. So let me explain what's actually happening here. Up until now, every scene we made started from a still image, and that single frame was the only thing the AI had to work with. So it had to guess the motion, the lighting, and the way the camera was already moving. But a video gives it all of that. It picks up the camera drift, how fast the body was moving, and the lighting, and then it starts the new scene from exactly that state. So I don't have to build a new starting frame, and I don't have to describe the whole environment again. The AI already has all of that from the video I use as a reference. And the video I'm giving it is the previous scene we just created. For the duration, I'll set it to 10 seconds and leave the rest of the settings the same, so 1080p and 16:9. Then I drop in this prompt, where I basically tell it I want my character to sit down at a table while the shopkeeper is putting a cup of water in front of me. And notice I'm still using the same tricks here, the point of view style line and a full description of the body movement. So here's the result. It starts exactly where the last scene ended, and it keeps the POV style too, which is exactly what we were looking for. And because it's building on the previous AI shot, the outfit and the lighting carry over. Now we've got two separate scenes, so the last thing left is to stitch them together. I'm using CapCut for this, but honestly, any editor works. I'll open a new project, then I drag both scenes onto the timeline, the street walk first and the shop scene right after it. And I don't put a transition between them, just a hard cut. The second scene already starts where the first one ends, so a fade would just make the cut obvious. And the hard cut is what makes those 24 seconds feel like one single shot. Then I'll export at 1080p, and let's take a look at the whole thing. Honestly, if you showed me this without telling me it was AI, I'd actually believe that someone filmed it with a camera strapped to their head. So if you've ever wondered how to make high-quality POV videos with AI, this is it. But without the right tools, it's impossible to use this workflow. So go sign up to Higgsfield using the link in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.